Hello everyone, it's Annie and welcome back to the Low to Grow podcast. Today I have something a little different for you. It's a bonus episode because at the weekend I packed up my mic and my phone and headed off to South Kensington to attend the very first Offscript Generation Summit. Now this is a brand new gathering that's not a careers fair and not a traditional networking event. Rather, it's a curated event that is built for the younger generation of 16 to 25-year-olds who do not want to follow a linear, well-trodden career rulebook. People there are those who wanted to be creatives, coders, thinkers, doers, entrepreneurs, and they were all there to learn about other people who have carved out their own path and proved that you can live a well-lived life that isn't linear. My main mission was to interview Calypso Rose, who is one of Offscript Summit's brilliant founders, and also a serial and successful entrepreneur herself. I wanted to chat to her about why creating this third venture was socially meaningful for her, and also why she believes that something like the Offscript generation is needed at this particular moment in 2026. Over the course of the day, I got to speak to some of the incredible and influential speakers, such as YouTuber and comedian Max Fosh, on how he actually broke into YouTube at a time when the platform was already quite crowded. How do you build mental resilience as a creator yourself?
I think it's understanding that not everything that you make is going to do well and perform, and it's divorcing the time and effort that you've put into the success of the content, because that's kind of out of your control. So as long as you're making stuff that you enjoy and you think is good, then that's the most important thing. And then hopefully people will join you. I've always said that the most important viewer that you have is yourself. And if you're making content that you enjoy, then hopefully you will find an audience who also enjoy it as well. For better mental health, I think communication and talking with a core group of people that you trust and love is very important, whether that's friends, whether that's family. Moving your body is always going to make you feel better. Yeah, and then the final thing, I feel very, very grateful that I have a group of friends who I love very much and I've got deep, deep connections with. So, it's friendship, communication, and getting outside for a run.
What makes the summit special for you?
It is so exciting to see so many young people, the next generation, coming in to try and learn as much as they can about different areas and different subjects. And if I can impart a little bit of wisdom onto that, I feel very, very honoured to be part of it.
I then found the courage, with what I hope was good manners, asked William Hanson, the British etiquette coach, on why he thinks that minding your manners will serve young people well in today's job market.
In terms of building mental resilience, it can be very difficult, particularly with anything that you put online. It's terribly democratic in many ways. Everyone is able to share their thoughts and opinions, even if those thoughts and opinions are at times abrasive, unfounded, bigoted. However, that's free speech, and it's half of the course. One of the ways that I have built up resilience and to not worry too much about comments is, well, A, not to read them, but also not to take it too seriously. One thing I think that would allow people to have better mental health is focusing on integrating with people rather than devices. These devices are great. We all need them. We will use them in our social and professional lives, but they're there to complement real human interaction rather than to replace it. And so actually developing people skills and focusing on human beings, I think is going to boost not only self-confidence, but also improve mental health as well. What makes this summit so special is a wonderful opportunity to connect with the future generations, those that are going to go into the workplace or already making their first few steps in the workplace, and talk to them about a topic, in my instance, that really isn't talked about enough. It's about treating people with respect, civility, charm, and good grace. And you only have to open up a newspaper or look online to see that we need that now more than ever.
I was also delighted to connect with fellow female entrepreneur Charlotte Liebling, aka the Fluffy CEO, on how she created a company with social impact that has already partnered with the likes of Bloomingdale's and Selfridges.
As a female entrepreneur, building resilience has had to be something I've learned, thick and fast. For me personally, it's been about accepting the fact that as part of my journey, I will always experience doubt and failure, and actually as an influencer as well, and a profile, hate. And that is an energy that will sit in me, and it will always be a thing. But I've learned through a set kind of number of methodologies to turn that into rocket fuel. So instead of it, pushing me into the ground, it's the energy that helps fuel me up and become what I know I can. One thing that I think will enable people to have better mental health is the idea that we spend a bit more time investing in understanding and thinking about the positive things that are going in the world as much as we invest our energy into thinking about the bad things that are going on. Especially with the media, it's very easy to get lost in the bad stories and we catastrophize a lot. But there's no positive equivalent of that. There's no space where we allow ourselves to get lost in imagining the possibilities of the good things. Whatever the opposite of catastrophizing is, I think we need to turn that into a habit and start doing it more. The Offscript Generation Summit is really special because, well, A, it's something that I didn't have anything the sort of when I was younger. There are lots of conventional career fairs and things out there that support people who have an idea what they might want to do. But for the group that are heading down that non-linear path, following their heart in some other sense, there's nothing that really celebrates, inspires and empowers that quite like this. So it feels a really magical thing to be at and be part of.
Unsurprisingly, on the way, I ran into one of my previous and wonderful Low to Grow podcast guests, Reese Wong. He is a Diana Award winner, recent graduate, and was at the summit to lead a workshop on personal branding.
When I first saw Offscript on the website, it stood out to me because, one, it brings young people together with their parents, and so few events actually do that. But number two, it's so needed because exactly we're in a world where careers are going to be non-linear. People and young people especially need to embrace entrepreneurship. And this event hits all of those check boxes. So I'm super excited to be here and it's been great so far. I've been speaking with parents and their kids and it's such an awesome event. Right now, with so much uncertainty, young people, yes, need to be getting ahead and thinking about their careers, but they also need to think about how they can better protect their mental health and better safeguard their own psychological safety and their own comfortability. So I think, yes, people should be getting out there, doing things, being entrepreneurial, but at the same time, have the awareness that you shouldn't push yourself too much. You shouldn't get yourself to a point of burnout.
Each of these amazing speakers, organizers and entrepreneurs that I spoke to really brought something real and grounded about them. Honestly, this summit was something that I wish I had been able to attend when I was in my teens. This is your exclusive behind-the-scenes peek into the conversation that I had with Calypso Rose, the powerhouse behind the Offscript Generation Summit. Let's dive in. Calypso, who do you want to be listening to this podcast?
Who do I want to be listening to this podcast? After this event, we've got all this incredible content, and we're not just going to put it on YouTube. We're creating an education library that is accessible to education partners, career leads and universities. So I'd love them to get in contact with us and I can give them access to the content. We didn't want to put it just on YouTube so that people get distracted by algorithms and other things that come up. That's who I'd like to speak to.
Calypso, it's great to be here. So where did your story start?
This is my third business. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I sold my business about 6 months ago. The co-founder, John Ford Gordon, came to me and said, look, careers fairs, they just aren't doing the job anymore. The world is changing and young people need to explore what the future is going to look like now, not what it looked like last year. We together came up with this summit called Offscript, and we've got big name thinkers and workshops talking about the future of work and AI and entrepreneurship.
That's great. And today, obviously, is the first day of the Offscript Generation Summit. How is it going so far? What's going through your mind at the moment?
It's been so good. And the insights that we're getting from young people who've been to see Ali Aslami to Max Fosh, they're just really excited to be here. And obviously, it's the first time we've done this event, so slightly chaotic, but it's all coming together. It's brilliant.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And Calypso, what's the most meaningful part for you of organising this event?
It's the outcomes that the young adults get. So what I really want is, even if it's just a handful, to leave here with clarity on their next steps and what they actually want to do tomorrow, whether it's go on to Lovable and start their next business or, a startup, or if it's thinking that actually I always wanted to work at Google, but now I don't think I do. I think I want to do something for myself. I want to hear those stories. That's what is the most, we're here because we really believe in what we're doing and we want to help.
That's wonderful. Earlier I was in a talk with the editor-in-chief at The Observer, and he was talking about ChatGPT and AI and also how young people can really adapt to that in their lives. And I thought it was such a good topic to be bringing to the audience for today. Also refreshing was seeing the mix of parents and children.
Yeah.
And it's really rare to have an event that brings both of them together in one place.
Because the parents, at the moment, everyone's feeling a bit lost. So to have those conversations together, often the parents say, you've got to go to university and you've got to do this because this is what I did. But then hearing talks like this, you're like, actually, maybe that's not the right route. And there are other routes. There's apprenticeships and there's, just getting started or going to university, but having a side hustle as well, just so you learn about having an entrepreneurial mindset and business.
And was that what you did when you were growing up? Did you have a side hustle whilst you were studying as well?
I went to about 3 different universities for about 2 weeks. So I left school, did PR and marketing, then thought I feel too young to be running into the world of work. Went to university, looked at the library, felt terrified and dropped out. And then I started my first business at 21, the handbag company, which in the end I did for 10 years and sold across the world. So I sold it from Japan to being a #1 seller in Selfridges at Christmas. So it went viral.
That's pretty incredible. And to have such a success with your first business as well. How did it feel for you at 21 creating that first business?
I loved it. I loved the adventure. I mean, I don't know how much money I made. A lot of it just seemed to sit in stock and paying everyone else. And I was doing so many trade shows, doing 15 trade shows a year. It was a roller coaster. I mean, I loved it. I went to Japan maybe 4 or 5 times and worked in a department store there and all these opportunities I just wouldn't have had otherwise. And I learned so much. And then I licensed it and set up another business called The Institute straight afterwards, because by that point, I kind of felt I was unemployable, having always run my own business. I think if I did it all over again, what I would have found, with my first business, I would have found myself a mentor and someone that really knew the industry that I was working in. And also I probably would have had a financial director as well.
So were you looking after all aspects of that business?
Yeah, I was doing everything. And I was young and it was really successful very quickly. So part of me was like, I don't think I need that advice. When if I did it all over again, I'd be like, I need that advice. And I need to take the advice from someone that has done it and is looking at my books and knows my business, but also knows the industry.
Understood. And how do you feel that you have changed yourself as a business owner and also a female entrepreneur since when you were 21 starting your first business to now launching Offscript Generation?
So my first business, I wanted to be a millionaire.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to make loads of money. Second business, I wanted to have a lifestyle that didn't mean that I was in trade shows constantly, and I wanted a much more balanced life. Offscript, I just want purpose. So I really want to help people and see how we can keep following that journey of the people that we've helped and keep being there as sort of mentor. And so I want this brand to have a long life where we see everyone's journeys from beginning to end.
And for you, what's the importance of in real life events such as the summit in the age that's very digitalized? So for example, anyone here can make a LinkedIn and connect with people that they don't know. What is it about in real life events do you think that is the reason why young people should still prioritize that?
Well, it's how people remember you. If they're making real connections in real life, you're going to be remembered. You're not just going to be scrolled past. This is, I think, events like this is your opportunity to go and speak to that speaker, ask the questions, and also realize that you're not alone. I mean, LinkedIn for me is like other people's Instagram. I get real FOMO. I look at everyone going, oh, I'm not enough. I'm not doing enough. And it's just absolute rubbish. You are doing enough. You are working hard enough. You are achieving enough. But sometimes you don't realize that unless you're actually in the room with people.
That makes sense. And for you, how do you feel that young people's definition of success has changed over, say, the past 10 or 20 years?
I definitely think young people are looking for more of a balanced lifestyle. They're seeing their parents burn out and going through the pandemic, and they think, I don't really fancy that. I want to be able to see my friends and stay healthy and stay fit and also build a business. I think that's very different to my generation.
Understood. And going forwards in the age of AI, what is one thing that you think young people could do to best equip themselves for their future career?
Just start. Go onto Lovable or any of these tools and just build something and put it on your CV. Think of a problem that you face. It could be a really small problem. It could be you want your family to be more organized, or you want to help schedule the weekly shopping, build an app for it, play with all the tools, create a brand using ChatGPT. Just keep on doing lots of little projects so that you learn all these different micro skills, and it's going to make you super invaluable when you go into your next job.
Calypso, would you be able to share one of the most challenging times that you've had either in your professional life or in your personal life that's really influenced who you are today?
One of the most challenging times while being an entrepreneur, it's quite a lot of them. But I guess it would be the pandemic when I had an experience company. We just lost all our revenue and all our search terms, and we had to pivot the business so it was at-home experiences. I also managed to fall off my bicycle and break my jaw, so I had my jaw wired shut.
Wow.
Throughout
That's horrible. Yeah.
the whole of lockdown, so I couldn't eat. I could only eat soup. All on top of that was pretty tough going. What I learned is like how resilient you are, how tough you are. But I also had a small child at the time who was 3. And I know it was tough for everyone that time. But you come out the other side and go, cool, if I can get through that, I can actually get through anything. With setbacks in business, the more you go through, the more setbacks, and then you come out the other side, you realize that the world's not going to end for you. You know, your business fails or that project fails. At the time, you think it's going to be a disaster. That's the end of your life. But actually, you come out the other side and you've learned so much. And you're like, oh, I'm okay. So now when I have big setbacks, I know at the time, I just go, oh, well, it'll be fine. The universe will have my back. We'll all come out and it'll be, you know, even if the company fails, we're all still okay.
That's a true entrepreneur's mindset as well. How are you teaching your child about resilience and also how to deal with failure and setbacks?
I suppose I just tell him that it doesn't matter. I just want him to keep starting and to keep trying. He's 9 now. And actually, he's really good because he likes to sell things. He's an absolute salesman. I just see him when we have a little stall outside the house or we have stalls at the market. He goes up to everyone and talks to them, tries to sell what he's selling. And they're saying, no, leave me alone. No, thank you. And he's just like, oh, next, you know.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Because I feel like so much of entrepreneurship and building your own company, as you well know, is having a really thick skin and being able and willing to ask for things and being happy with people saying no. Most of you are knowing that it's not something to be taken so personally as well.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic that he's able to do that already. Is he here today?
He's coming later.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure he'd love to chat. He loves to chat. But I mean, that's one of the biggest skills in life, to be a good salesman, to be personable, to listen to other people. You know, there's going to be a million billion people that can use AI or going to be data scientists. But if you can relate to someone and you can listen to them and you can be interested and you can remember their name, then that's a superpower.
Are the words imposter syndrome in your vocabulary or not?
Are the words imposter syndrome? Don't think they are. It wasn't really a thing when I was younger. It's kind of come forward. But no, I just crack on. Do you get imposter syndromes?
For me, if I start to feel imposter syndrome, that's how I know I'm in the right place and that I'm pushing myself out of the comfort zone. I think imposter syndrome for me, it's kind of the situation where I'm doing something that I've either not done before or I have huge uncertainty of whether or not I'm going to succeed. As someone who has to really make her own opportunities, I've just realized it's just how that I know I'm really pushing myself and where I should be as well.
When things are going wrong and you have to push yourself and you have to learn something new, that's when I'm most excited. That's all through the pandemic when I had to pivot the business and I had to say, I was like, this is a great challenge. I was up early and I just really loved the buzz, even though it was all, you know, quite stressful. I still loved it. When things are just coasting, I start twiddling my thumbs and getting a bit bored.
Running something like the Offscript Generation Summit, it's a huge live event. I've run small events before on a much smaller scale, and I know the amount of planning and also almost anxiety that I feel the night before. Did you feel any of that? And also, how do you deal with it when you're organizing something as big as a summit like this?
I found the anxiety was about 2 weeks ago when you're thinking, have we sold enough tickets? Are we going to have enough people through the door? Have we got enough different groups coming through the door? Because I really wanted to be able to access as many different schools and academies and community groups as possible. Last night was all kind of quite chill. It was the calm before the storm, I think.
For you, as someone that's starting a new venture now, How do you think that your mindset is different as compared to when you started your first business at 21?
With Offscript, there's a bigger team and more people to bounce off, which is amazing. And they are fabulous. And everyone's got great ideas. I've had to adjust because I'm so used to just getting things done without consulting anyone.
For more of the years of running a company?
Yeah, running my own company and having small businesses, and it's always been down to me. And actually, I love it. It's so good working with a team now and getting all the, how we can really make things so much better. And also just not having all the pressure on me. But I do have to just stop, consult, and then move forward.
How did you come across your partners? And also, how did you know that they are the people that you wanted to work with?
So I've worked with John Gordon in my last businesses, and he's just wonderful. I do a lot by gut instinct if you have a good rapport with them. And also they have to complement your skills. And we've also got an investor, Mehdi, and he is just so open and interesting and empathetic that I was just instantly drawn to both of them as collaborators.
And let me ask you our podcast staple, which is, what is one thing that you believe will allow more people to have better mental health?
Make time for yourself and to exercise, go for a run, get outside, look up, appreciate the world.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for coming on the Low to Grow podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. You excited for the next episode? Follow Low to Grow podcast on Instagram and TikTok to keep in touch with new announcements.